So Windfire Productions is a local video production company. We do a lot of video operations for different facilities around Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. We run the video board operations at Santa Ana Star Center out in Rio Rancho, including also doing the video operations here at the Albuquerque Isotopes. As owner, one of the things that I do is, of course, I'm in charge of all the hiring and the scheduling for Windfire Productions. But then as the lead director, basically I'm the guy who's just sitting behind the switch upstairs in the press booth, giving everyone their commands, cutting the cameras, basically directing the whole show. Normally in a normal situation with news and stuff like that, they actually have a technical director and a producer, but we don't actually have that. It's just a technical director doing the whole thing. So that's what I do. I'm not only calling the cameras, but I'm also cutting the cameras on the actual switcher and all that. So that's where our operation is a little different from most productions here in town. So for each of our events, it's very different depending on the facility that we're at. At Isotopes, we actually have 5 cameras, but we have 4 camera operators. We have a camera operator at first base, camera operator at third base, camera operator at up high center, and then we have a handheld camera. The outfield camera, camera 4, is actually stationary. But then other facilities that we have, like Santa Ana Star Center, we usually run 3 cameras out there, all of them manned. We have a low camera plus 2 high. And then upstairs, we usually have at least 2 people. So we have the main director, and then we have either a graphics operator or a replay operator. As soon as I get here, the first thing I do is I go upstairs to do all the graphics for the game. Basically my boss here is Chris Shepard, and he always has like a list of all the names and lower thirds that we're going to need for the day that he hands to me as soon as I get in here. Make all those graphics on Photoshop, put them into the system, and while I'm doing that, I have my camera operator showing up. The crew call is always 2 hours before game time, and as they show up, they then check in with me, and then they go down and they set up all their cameras, and I sit in the booth and just wait to see if they all pop up. If one's taking a while and they're having problems, then I'll go down and help them finish setting up. We usually get all the operations done for setup within about 30 minutes. And then once it gets to an hour before game time, then we all head downstairs to our positions, and I head over to the director's position, and then we start pregame. And pregame usually is full with a lot of sponsor stuff, and we have lineups and teams of the game, first pitches, umpires, all that stuff. So we do all that, and then come the game time, we run the game, for about 3 hours, and the game, once it finishes, we pack it all up, bring it upstairs, check in with everybody, and then we all head on out. So this year, one of the big marketing things that we wanted to do was we wanted to do the Mariachis, so they decided to have a day where they changed our name to the Mariachis, and our visiting team usually changes their name. Of course, our first homestand here was against the Chihuahuas, so they decided they weren't going to change their name because it was already, Hispanic enough. But it went pretty well. I mean, they broke a record for the most people in the stadium at any one time, and that even beats out any other times that we had some of the Dodger players come down here, to play. So that was actually really, really cool. Merchandising-wise, it's just great. People love the hats, they love the shirts, they love the jerseys, just anything they can buy, and so I definitely see them doing more stuff like this in the future when it comes to theme days. And so each year, who knows, we might get something new. So probably the most fun thing about working here is, one, I don't even consider this a job. It's actually just more of a fun side venture for me, and the fact that I can actually hire and work with the people that I've worked with for a long time. A lot of them have been friends of mine for a long time that just got interested in video production, and I help them out, gave them a job, and they love it too. But the whole time we're on headsets, we're not only producing a show and not only filming baseball, but we're talking, joking, we're talking about food, we're talking about movies, we're talking about just every possible thing you can think of. And so it's almost just like a hangout, with your friends, while also producing, high quality, good video content for the baseball team. The fact that I started here when I was 13 years old, when they first opened their gates, and I was running camera here, and then slowly just moved my way up to replay and director, and now I'm the guy who's calling all the shots. I'd probably say that that's definitely the best thing that has happened to me in my life so far here at the baseball stadium.